Hello everyone, I am ExtraCheesy87 and this is Let's Play Trails Through Daybreak Part 66. In the previous video we finished up our talking, we got Gotti as women, and then we went out into the desert to try and initiate an Operation Rescue for Mariel and Shaheena, who got kidnapped, and then we fought Prince and his bodyguard lady, Naje, who I will say she beat the allegations. I just out of curiosity in between videos I went back and checked the scene that I was ranting about. It was Fairy that was talking shit about Fee and saying that Naje is better than her. Naje didn't actually say anything, so she beat the allegations, but Fairy did not, hence why she's not in the main party. Also, Fee's here.
Even if I get the impression you all are leaving out some details.
Oh, that Vane can stop time and he turns into his dark passenger? Well, I could say the same about you, Sylphid. Like how you and Nana and the Prince of Elsam are chummy with one another?
Fair enough. There's nothing to really hide, so no harm in explaining. He's just someone I met through this musician I know.
Uh-huh. I follow, you know it adds up. I've heard stories about him before. I see his influence hasn't waned. Musician? Her ass didn't play the previous games. Point and laugh at Anya's. New player, new player. Anyway, what's the guild's perspective on all this? Not just what happened here, but everything that's gone down since Messeldin. We're all in agreement that A is almost definitely involved in what's going on, Zen and the others included. Even putting aside what you're looking for, the presence of that sketchy puppeteer and the angel of her suggests as much. That, as well as the attempt at making it look like a case of contaminated drugs and the type of plant used to achieve that. That's what I think too, but aside from that, the girl and her angel is a distinctive lack of any other presence in Tharbad. From what I can tell, none other members or even any run-of-the-mill gangsters lurking around. It's awful suspicious if you ask me. Yes, that's not like what happened in Longport at all. I assume Messeldin was also different? Correct. Messeldin was previously their stronghold, and we confirmed there were individuals there who enjoyed their support. It's very likely they were either masqueraded as anti-immigration forces or at least took advantage of the terrorism to carry out what they did. You know, we got contaminated drugs spreading beneath the surface here. Not so much as a street thug to be found. What do you make of that, Mr. Arkrad? At this point, all we're doing is just spitballing and throwing ideas around, yeah? Maybe so, but I have a theory. Hear me out. In order for contaminated drugs to flow into Tharbad, you need organizational support of some sort to pull it off. If we assume there really are no high-ranking members of any gangsters in the city right now, then a local business might have the power and influence to achieve that, something the size of Vegas films or similar. Of course, the police and guild are also probably big enough too. I mean, they may... Since we know it's being spread to the Orbital hookahs, it may not necessarily be a, like, intentionally malicious thing. They may have just been supplied these tainted hookahs that have, you know, flooded the market because they're so, like, addictive. And word of mouth is spreading and, you know, they're selling so crazily and the people are just pushing them because they're buying them really fast. They don't necessarily have to be, like, a partner. Like, knowingly, at least. Just to be clear, I'm only speaking hypothetically here. I'm not saying either of them are behind it. What am I saying? I can't believe me even down in either group, especially with a bracer right here. I'm sorry. Nah, you're fine. Don't be sorry. Also, I wouldn't really say, size-wise, you're right, actually, because there's only like 4 bracers in the entire country. I think we can rule out the local guild on this one, though. Everyone here is really busy and they're short on staff as is. Literally every bracer guild in history is short on staff. Van's ass just went to sleep, man. Also, where are Aaron and Fairy? They're like, oh, so they gotta see. Aaron's still sitting in the back of the truck. Hey guys! Are we there yet? Likewise, the local police also seem to be innocent here, even if I was suspicious of them myself. Is that to say you already looked into it? It's good. Saves the trouble of doing that ourselves. Which means that out of the organizations you mentioned, there's only one suspect left. Wait, you don't mean Vegas Films, do you? I know I mentioned them, but aren't they out of the question? I mean, it was Nina and Judith who hired us in the first place, not to mention how much the prince is involved. Well, I mean, Nina and Judith don't run Vegas Films. Evil Cassius runs Vegas Films. We cannot rule them out. For one thing, as actresses, neither Miss Finley nor Miss Lannister belong to Vegas Films. Also, while it's true that the Principality supports the company, the relationship dates back only the past 6 months. Oh, It's also worth noting that the Tharbad Film Festival is planned separately from Messedom's. In fact, compared to Messedom's, which is an institution, this one had a lot less notoriety going for it at first. Okay, so that is kind of the way they're setting it up, is that presumably Dillion worked with Almada to sabotage the initial film festival, got supplied these drugs maybe as well by them to distribute. Like, it was probably like, we'll help you make your film festival a success for some money, but also, you know, supply these drugs to cause a ruckus. And we want to, you know, see what happens. It was only once Messedom's festival got cancelled that Tharbad stocks rose a lot over the last 2 months. Which does make sense when you think about how Calvert's going through a real motion picture boom. When there's only one big film festival a year, it's only natural for movie buffs to gravitate towards it, no matter where it is. And when you're the company putting the whole thing on, you come away from that situation a winner.
Sounds like you guys have it figured out.
Yep, rich people are evil. More news at 11. Hey Dingo, how's Muriel doing?
She was so tired. She passed out as soon as we got back to the hotel. And now that I know she's safe, I'm here to return the favor.
I cut to the chase. The suspicions surrounding Vegas Films don't stop at the film festival. There are rumblings they've poured huge sums of dark money into Tharbad's political and financial circles, like when they set up their HQ. And that money's supposedly going through less than legal channels. That's some serious dirt you've dug up. Think you got the evidence to back that up? Basically, 99% of the way there. I looked into a number of syndicates, both big and small, including Heiue, and all of them came back negative. All of them, that is, except for one. Almada. That settles that debate. You're just as intrepid a reporter as I heard. Why, thank you. I've heard good things about you too, Miss Sylphide. The only question left to resolve, assuming this is true, is why those threats were sent. That part doesn't square. Indeed, one would think it would be against their best interest to put their own film festival in jeopardy.
Van, Agnes!
You guys still at the inn? I see that bracer chick's with you too.
What's the matter, you two? Yeah, what's got your feathers ruffled? I'm guessing you got Shaheena home already? Where are you
We're
now?
at Vegas Films. After we dropped her off, an employee there contacted us.
They say Sarah vanished from the studio. Apparently, it happened while we were out in the desert.
What? She what? She vanished from the studio? Sarah? Oh, Shaheena, it'll be okay. Last time I saw her was when we were on break during our rehearsal. She went to use the restroom and then never came back. I was getting pretty worried about how much time she was taking, so I checked with one of the guards. If I'd seen anybody like that, I'm confident I would have noticed. I checked every floor and couldn't find her anywhere. As far as I can tell, there's no sign she left through a side exit either. I'm only asking this to make sure, but... Your sister wasn't complaining about being in the parade or anything, was she? No, absolutely not. There's no way she would bail out of it. She was absolutely fired up about it. Definitely. I mean, hell, it was getting us amped up too. Her mood was infectious. Not to mention, she has just tremendous talent. Dancing might not be my thing, but even I could feel it. That's because I got an eye for things. I don't lie. That girl's a tremendous asset to the cavalcade. Not to mention, she's a professional. I just can't see her getting cold feet over something like this all of a sudden. Alright, if you guys are sure, sorry for asking. I didn't mean to offend anyone. I don't know, you're just doing what you need to. Anyway, seeing as we're talking about a civilian going missing, we're gonna have to get the guild involved. Everyone okay with that? Yeah, Agnes, you're out. Absolutely, we appreciate you helping us. I'll pay any amount. Mirror is no object. Just do whatever you have in order to find that girl. My parade isn't complete without her, understand? Also, you know, I guess I'd feel bad morally if she died. But mainly my parade. What about you guys? What are you up to? Well, like you need to ask, she's a client we swore to protect. She's only one thing for us to do. Or there's only one thing for us to do. Although we might ask for a free dance later to make it worth our while. Sound good? And thank you. We'll figure it out somehow. Don't do anything reckless while we're gone. Got it? I don't know what you're talking about. Mind your own business. Alright, I'm gonna fill in the others in the guild branch. I'll also find out what's going on with the police. I'll be pretty much doing the same thing, hitting up sources in various places. I'll be sure to let Bermati know what's going on too. That'd be great. Thanks, you two. Hey, guys, just me walking, be normal. There's all this racket. The festival's nearly here. What could have possibly happened to cause such chaos? What? You haven't heard? That girl scared out yesterday. Sorry, she disappeared. Nobody knows where she went. Oh, is that so? Gotta act. Get the company into gear. Start throwing everything we got. I don't care if it takes every single employee. We gotta find Sarah now. Don't you think you're being a little rash, Gotti? We're talking about a dancer. What's it does if one of the two of them run away? Just because I, you know, put her in my car and stuff her in the dumpster. Oh, girl, Dylan, you're a bad guy. Whatever. Who hasn't done it? But my sister, she's... Hold on, Dillion. Where the hell is this attitude coming from? This is serious. For all appearances, it's very likely she didn't simply disappear. Please, her up and poofing away. There's nothing to hamper our final preparations of the festival. One of you two went missing. It'd be another matter, but her, she's merely some extra. One of us hired on a hunch, nothing more. Are you out of your mind? How many times I gotta explain it to you? Sarah's not some extra. She's irreplaceable. She's the linchpin for my plans. My parade isn't complete without. Enough. I'm done listening to this. As far as I'm concerned, as long as the cavalcade proceeds in some fashion or other, that's all that matters. This woman turns up wonderful. If not, you'll simply have to compromise on your grand vision, Gotti. What is that fool's problem? That was so cold. How could he... Seems pretty clear to me the walls are closing in on him. Yeah, I wonder if he, maybe he started smoking the hookah because he was stressed out, and that's... Because he does seem like, you know, obviously there's like a personality shift. He's like not even pretending not to be evil. That would be my guess. Is that maybe he didn't even necessarily, like, know the hookah's, like, drugged. And probably is, like, actually kind of stressed out from running the festival, and, you know, now he's gonna get evil eyes. That does seem like more to it than simply being the day before the festival and deciding a change of tact isn't practical. I think so, too. I got the circumstantial evidence, now we just gotta figure out what move to make.
Mr. Gotti, I'm sure Sarah will come back. I just know it. She always pulls through. She could come down with a cold before a big show and she'd still shake it off and dance her best ever. She just might run a little late and need more time than usual.
Yeah, we'll make it dramatic. She'll, like, show up, like, mid-performance and you're like, holy hell, look at this lady.
But until then, let me help. Bring me on as a good luck charm for getting her back.
I hope Shaheena's gonna be okay. Don't worry, she will be. She's got Judith with her. I'm surprised. I've never seen anyone manage to be so persuasive with Mr. Gotti before. Despite only being 15 years old, she was already a true professional. I certainly found myself impressed. I'm sure she gets a lot of strength from her sister. Sarah seems like a wonderful role model. Yeah, she really does. I don't know why they do this weird shit where, like, they cut from something and then they cut ahead and then they immediately cut back in a flashback to what they cut from. It's so, like, I feel like previous Trails games have done this, but I feel like this game has done it more than others at this point. Like, this is already, like, the 4th or 5th time I feel like we've seen this happen. It's just kind of weird. There's no way you could possibly replace your sister in my parade. We're watching her dance. There's nobody that understands what she does better than me. Nobody else is gonna be as good as... You and your sister are two very different ladies. Your dancing and sex appeal are completely their own. You got no tits. It's not enough to just be related and dance the same dance. You still don't have the same effect on the people watching. Frankly, my dear, you just aren't a good fit for the sort of parade I got in mind.
I can't take this anymore. I hate seeing Sarah being the only one working so hard day after day. She always brushes it off like it's nothing, trying to make sure I don't see how much it all hurts her. Sometimes, she even goes out pretending like she's off to see her boyfriend. I wish she had someone like that. I wish that was what's going on, but she can't fool me. Poor Shaheena. So she knew all along. Maybe I can't match up to her now, but that doesn't mean I can't train hard. I can make any outfit you put on me work too. If I can't just totally replace my sister, then we can find something that'll fit me. I won't just live up to your vision. Give me a chance, and I'll blow it out of the water with something even better.
Oh!
Wow.
Damn.
All right, young lady, you're on. But if you're going to talk that big, you'd better walk that big as well. Failure is not an option.
I mean, it always is, actually.
And hey, if your sister comes back, we'll get you both in the parade and make you two a duo for the ages.
Mr. Gotti, you're the best.
Mr. Gotti,
I
thank you.
legally can't pay you, though, because you're underage, and that would be a whole hell of a lot of all extra paperwork and whatnot.
Hardly. You know me. When I set my mind on something, I don't let anything get in my way. That's just the kind of man I am. Festival is tomorrow. I expect you to train your buns off till the very last minute. Got it?
Yes, sir. I wouldn't have it any other way.
From what I've seen, your technique is solid enough. You already
Solid
know how to
enough?
mimic your sister's moves.
Me when I'm trying to compliment someone? Yeah, you're solid enough.
That means we need to focus on polishing your steps and making sure your charm comes through. Come on, I'll show you how a world-class actress knocks her audience off their feet. It's probably gonna take us all night, but that's what it'll take to get you on your sister's level. Are you ready?
Ready as I'll ever be.
As for you, Nina, you're in charge of keeping in touch with these doofuses in the guild. Stay on top of everything, okay?
Yes, says the lady with a 3 in int.
Yeah, I can handle that.
Nice. Sounds to me like we're all set. Let's roll those cameras, people!
She's clearly earned a reputation as a best-in-class actress. Yeah, since she got a good bead on Shaheena's skills, she'll get her ready. Hard to believe she's such a bumbling mess of a job. Or off the job. I expect her a bit more now. Keyword bit. What are you talking about? Inside joke between us. Don't worry about it. Yeah, did you hear the gist of things? Does this ring any bells you might have overlooked before? I do like that only Agnes doesn't know. Maybe any doubt or suspicions you've had about Vegas Films? You're talking about the rumors of its relationships with the underworld and drug trafficking, right? I don't really want to believe that such a big company in my own line of work could be involved in such things. But it's true that Vegas has been expanding in a way that can't be explained just by Mr. Gotti's involvement. And yes, I've heard bits and pieces. People around the industry have a lot to say about Vegas. So when that threatening note came in, I did feel like something bigger was going on. I'm not sure what, but it's there. Didn't realize there was so much intrigue going on before we even arrived. The company's the culprit behind this. There's no way that snooty president's clueless about it all. And if that's true, the man's up to his nose in drug running, at least on some level. Who knows what's up with the notes, but after all that, he's got to have something to do with Sarah going missing, right? Yeah, I can't really think. I don't really get a beat on. The only thing I can think of is that the notes are maybe just there to get Van involved. Or, you know, some sort of authority, extra people involved in the mess. You know, maybe that's like they since they're kind of interested in Van, seemingly, knowing that they would probably reach out to non-official channels and somehow Van is the only Spriggan in the entire country. So it'd have to be him who has to come? That's really the only, like, game plan I can see for the notes. And why it would end up going to Sarah as well, like, immediately after we start talking to her. Like, making it extra personal so that we stay on the case. I guess, but could a guy like him really... You know, are you okay? Sorry, I'm okay-ish. This is all just a riddle rattling me a bit more than normal. Like Fairy said, it's hard for me to picture Mr. Dillion doing such things. And we're talking about the same man who's always getting pushed around by Mr. Gotti, including allowing the parade at all. Even if you were a man with more backbone, the risks involved with illicit drug smuggling are considerable. Which means you believe Mr. Dillion doesn't or shouldn't have the courage to arrange something so flagrantly illegal. Yeah, because he's a patsy. I'm not trying to dismiss everything you're saying or have seen, but it's just so hard to reconcile. Be that as it may, the circumstances paint him as our most likely culprit. Even if he's normally not brave, what if for some reason he had no choice but to play along with such a scheme? I see what you're getting at. That's an excellent point. It would be perfectly plausible for criminal elements to do something underhanded to make him comply. Now let me get this straight. We don't know how involved he is with whatever's going on? You're saying that he could have been threatened into somehow helping this drug trafficking you're talking about? Maybe. Yeah, I mean, it could be that maybe they threatened to shut down the film festival entirely if he doesn't do it. Or, you know, he's just not aware that the pukas are drugged. I feel like they both are probably equally likely. Or like they're both plausible. It's all but certain that Dillion used Almada's help to grow Vegas Films into the juggernaut it is today as fast as he did. Money funneled to the political and financial sectors, the murky fundraising, Nelson Down's festival going kaput, which was perfect for him. Even if it seems like everything's going his way, all he's been doing is squeezing further under his benefactor's thumb. Being under Almada's thumb is a sure way to get crushed. I hadn't thought of it like that. This is getting all amazingly grim. In that case, good old Dillion probably isn't going to stop at drug trafficking. I bet he's being put up to do something even worse, right? Like, say, something that could go down during the film festival here? Then the notes we've been receiving are... Indeed, Almada's taking advantage of the film festival to plan something in this part of the country. Part of the middle of it, it would seem Mr. Dillion wants to take action before something hideous happens. He wishes to do it without quashing the festival. Simply doing that could bring the underlying conflict to the surface. Okay. Does that mean the snooty guys are behind the notes? I guess that also makes sense. The more I think about it, the more everything clicks into place. It all adds up. Wait, couldn't that also implicate him and Sarah disappearing when she did? Sure could, which would indicate Almada didn't snatch her and she didn't vanish of her own free will. Gasper Dillion abducted her and took her somewhere.
Van, darling, I've got big news for you.
Nice, you figured it out?
I analyzed the plant you sweethearts found against the substance in those rioting around town, and we have a match. They're completely identical.
Oh, wow.
Needless to say, it was found on the guys who kidnapped Marielle and that dancer.
This confirms, without a doubt, that it was an illegal drug.
When did you... Hold on, how are you able to go over the cops' heads and run that sort of test? Also, if this is like a legendary plant, how is it illegal? You tell me that shit's on the books? I mean, you know, it might be like a hallucinogenic and like has the same effects of illegal drugs, but like in theory, if it's like a super rare plant that isn't super known about, it probably wouldn't be on the books as like an explicitly illegal substance.
With this fancy testing device that Van got for me after pulling some strings, that's how.
That would have been for nothing were it not for your knowledge of pharmacology.
That's Bermotti. He never fails to impress.
Oh, hush you two. I only know a little from dabbling in it back in the day, that's all.
That sounds like...
Looks like you owe me again, Van.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Renee. We're all in this together.
Elaine, and is that... Oh yeah, I remember you talking to someone yesterday all suspicious like. Explains a few things. Never hurts to have a little insurance. I saw those idiots going nuts yesterday. I figured the possibility of running into trouble was there.
Clearly your instincts are as sharp as ever.
Okay, why you guys sound so mad about it?
If I'd known illicit drugs would be involved, I would have traveled to Tharbad too.
No, we're fine. What you're doing right now is extremely important. We can handle the situation here.
That analyzer is the latest model from the Basel Institute of Science. It'll be perfectly accurate, don't worry. As for the form the drugs have taken and how they're being distributed, we're looking into that on our end.
What? You don't need to... It's obvious.
But I'm sure you already have some ideas about all that.
Yes. Wait, you do? Really? I might. I bet our diligent little concierge does as well. Nothing gets past you, does it, Mr. Arkride? Why aren't you two such geniuses? But yeah, something did feel off to me. Thinking none of those dumbasses have mentioned anything about buying drugs so far? Not at all. They said they didn't even remember taking anything like that, right? Is it possible they could have been forced to ingest it somehow? It wouldn't need to have been right before the film festival and distributed in a way that wouldn't catch the police or guild's attention. If there's any way to pull that off, it would have been... yeah, mixing it into a consumable. What about those new herbal hookahs that seem so popular recently? Come to think of it, the men who kidnapped Shaheena and Muriel had them. What if the drugs are mixed into the vapor ingredients of the hookahs? What? But I mean, didn't they test the hookah, like... isn't that what we tested it against, to see that they're identical? So that's, like, we already knew this? I mean, we already knew it because the camera zoomed in on it and said, hey, this is important. But, like, in universe. That is interesting. I think you got it in one. They can get the CID and guild to step in. Vessel's in enough trouble as is. Anything to help kick it off more smoothly is worth it at this point, I think. Earn 2 SP. Horrible hookahs that exploded in popularity in Tharbad in recent days, particularly within the entertainment district. Easily obtainable by curious members of the public, the paraphernalia was sold by numerous vendors throughout the city. Further testing by Bermani and company confirmed that the substance smoked in them was indeed the illicit drug in question. In response, the guild and local police decided to confiscate the devices in secret. How are you gonna do it in secret? If like everyone's smoking it, you're just gonna show, like, I feel like once like 70% of the populations get their shit stolen, it's not really secret. The CID's help sales of the hookahs throughout the city were put to a halt in short order. I feel like that would be, like, you wouldn't really want that in, I don't know. I mean, I could kind of get why you'd want it to be in secret to prevent a panic, but I also feel like there's kind of an obligation to be like, hey, the hookahs have fucking hallucinogenic drugs in them that make you crazy. Or maybe not really hallucinogenic, but well, they did say that was one of the side effects, right? From the mystery plant, or is that it could be used to make hallucinogenic drugs? After getting in touch with some of the collaborators, the group took off for Vegas Films once more. 8:21 p.m. Also very important. Guess there was a kind of commotion over the bazaar. Granted, that was the point, but still. I'm just relieved the hookahs could all be confiscated before any more damage could be done. At this stage, you've laid down the groundwork and gathered the evidence. But now the guild and the cops are simply going to be monitoring things. If we're going to act, now's our chance. There's no time like the present. Let us proceed to Vegas Films. I should probably check in with Shaheena and see how she's doing while we're at it. Oh, yeah, we'll do that in a few videos, maybe. Now you're in my domain again. Looks like the cops are conducting some kind of search on the store over there. They were hauling out those herbal hookahs I've been seeing around town lately. I got some customers who smoke that shit. Now that I think about it, they're all definitely acting a little loopy.
Well,
they were like, man, I don't want no mustard on my meat. I said, what the hell? What do you mean you don't want any mustard?
See you again.
Oh, I Actually, I lied.
Looking to buy something?
Nope, I'm looking for you to give me money.
See you again.
I do like how literally every vendor in the world is like, you just come up with some rocks, and you're like, hey, give me money, and they're like, ah, okay, fine. So, the cops have been more active around here lately, so I got curious and decided to ask what was up. They wouldn't tell me much, but it sounds like there's something bad going around the city that's causing problems. With all the fights that's been breaking out, I bet they're afterwards making people go nuts.
Looks like this area is brimming with activity too.
Is it?
Yes. The guild and police
Looks
are
around the
clearly on
street.
top of things.
Nobody's here. Situations such as this are exactly why I always warn you to err on the side of caution. So we are to avoid this very circumstance. I think that you were seen in public not only having your possessions confiscated by the police, but yelling all the while. It's extremely fortunate it didn't turn into a far greater incident. The police have not charged you with anything. How until Miriam am I ever going to explain what happened to your father? Come on, Hardy, lay off already. I know what I did was wrong. Getting bent out of shape over nothing, seriously. I mean, okay, appreciate you covering for me while I was all worked up earlier. But I mean, it's not like they're gonna arrest me. I'm rich. Don't be shy, step right up. You're gonna love what I have to say. Better act fast. What the fuck, man? You ain't got no new dialogue?
Hey there. What'll it be? See ya.
Indeed.
Oh man, friggin' took my hookah, man. God, now I just... Oh man, I really can't wait to get home and say I love my wife. What are you doing, lady? Not even... There's shops. What are you advertising for? Shit, I didn't expect it to turn into such a big deal. They found out I was smoking that shit, I'm in for a lot more than a write-up next time. Gotta keep my head low and just try and do my job for now. Do my job and hope for the best. The police came around confiscating all the hookahs along this street earlier. And I think about it, the visitors around here began getting more violent right around the time those things began showing up. Makes you wonder if it's got anything to do with drugs. If so, I'm glad we kept our distance from them. And if whatever they're smoking helps them calm down, so we have to rough fewer people up, it's hard to complain about that. Well, I mean, it's the opposite, but... My beautiful savior. Here she's gonna be quitting the nightclub. Could it be true? I mean, yeah, I'm excited to watch her perform in the parade, but if she doesn't come back to the club, I guess I'll just fucking end it all. What am I supposed to do? She and I have made so many wonderful memories there. Like that time I said hi and she ignored me. Or that time I asked about her feet and she ignored me. Or that time I asked for a private dance and she ignored me. She can't just leave. I was even starting to think about maybe settling down in the city. Like I finally found my home, but now what? The story's completely lost it. Even I can't imagine throwing literally everything away for a girl like this sad sack. I mean, he's not even throwing it away for a girl. He's throwing it away for a chance to, like, live within a couple mile radius of the girl. That girl gets picked up for the film festival and she gets further and further out of reach, and does that mean I won't be able to watch her dance anymore? Will I not be able to breathe the same air as her? Gazing at her from further and further away, will she give me the strength to live like before? Oh my god. Yeah, the nightclub down the street sounds like one of the more popular girls is quitting. Supposedly she got scouted by somebody in the film industry. The owner ain't gonna stop her either, seemingly. Got to admire the show of respect like that. It's got to be a blow to their bottom line losing someone like her. What do you mean the owner's not gonna stop her? I mean, I doubt she signed a stripping contract. It doesn't really seem like it's that type of work. I don't think she has like a non-compete agreement when she leaves.
I'll win next time.
Yes, I will. Sir, when you spin the thing, could you make it stop on 9? No? Fuck. I really thought that'd work. Police officer just paid us a visit. Apparently they confiscated an orbital hookahs due to some kind of issue that was uncovered. Made it clear we don't deal in those sorts of things at my casino, but I can't deny some of our customers have smoked them. Especially Morad over there. I'm worried about him. He had quite a lot to smoke. Though frankly, smoking that much of anything's a cause for concern, hookah or no. True, that is pretty true. Alright, I got myself another 10 million merit. Time to turn this into a payout for the ages. At this point, a bet like this is chump change. What's the extra now if it means that much bigger of a return later when I win it big, right? Hey, Mr. Dealer Man, when you put the ball in the thing, could you make it land on 9 for me? No, you can't? Fuck, thought that'd work. My evil dealer, he's gone. His machinations, he's out being evil. Welcome, I'll be your card game dealer tonight. Harold had some matters to attend to. He was laughing all villainously and stuff. It was weird. And took off a little while ago. Someone new here is actually quite the card shark. I don't know if I'll be as good a match as him, but I'll try my best. I think it would have been cool if he hadn't had that one little cutscene that he showed up in.
Come on.
If it was like even more subtle that he's a bad guy.
Do you know what you want? I hope to see you again.
Because they definitely, like, there's, you know, this, that, plus the orbital hookah stuff. Like, the hookahs, you know, if it had, because if you never did the NPC dialogue stuff, it would have actually been, you know, if the, like, it being something that's solely basically revealed by doing NPC dialogue as opposed to, like, camera zooms in on it and tells you that it's important. Would have been pretty neat. As like kind of like a running little mystery throughout, and then it would feel more rewarding if you know, figure it out on your own as opposed to the game basically telling you. A police officer came by a little while ago. Looks like they're out confiscating some kind of device causing trouble. There have been so many problems around here lately, it's hard not to feel like Tharbad's getting a little dicey. Not to mention it's a day for the film festival too. Who knows what's gonna happen once folks start showing up. What must be wrong with those hookahs? I saw police officers going around confiscating them. Not that I'll miss them personally. It'll be interesting to see how people react to having something so trendy disappear overnight, though. Also, you stole Gotti's dress. I'll definitely make it worth going people watching at the film festival tomorrow, that's for sure. Police paid us a visit a little while ago, asking if we dealt with orbital hookahs. Some of our customers have been known to enjoy them, and apparently some problem has cropped up. I don't know what the issue is, but whatever's going on, those cops are awfully serious. Yeah. So we'll try and finish up the entertainment district before we well, we still have all of this. Okay, maybe we won't finish up all of it? Well, I don't know. We'll see. I had to confiscate literally every piece of unauthorized merchandise that specialty shop had on display. The staff were very apologetic about the whole thing. It seems they weren't informed about what it was they were handling. Well, my ass would not be apologetic. If I thought I had legitimate wares and the cops show in and saying, hey, hand me over all your shit, you know how pissed I would be? I mean, are they gonna get some compensation? Because, I mean, they didn't know. That's like a failure of the, like, regulatory agencies or something. It's not on them that they got sold stuff that had drugs, like, you know, illegal drugs instead of just regular, like, tobacco or whatever. Staff were very apologetic about the whole thing. It seems they weren't informed about what it was they were handling. Apparently the vendor who originally sold it was going around to each store taking advantage of the film festival campaign. The nerve of them tricking innocent stores into circulating such dangerous goods. Justice must be met. Yeah, I don't know who would be. I mean, I guess you could say it's the store's fault for, like, not doing their, like, in theory, they have a obligation to do their due diligence and figure out what it is they're buying. But, I mean, if you're just being straight up lied to about what's in the cartridges, you can't expect the local business to, like, go out and chemically test what's in there.
Welcome. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, the regular Tara bombs are kind of trash now. Our HP kind of ballooned up pretty quickly. They're already like in the, yeah, like 5,000-ish range. Well, 4,000, but...
Next visit.
Can't believe my newest products are so dangerous to customers. Really failed as a merchant not catching on to such issues before I brought them in the first place. I mean, I can't really blame the merchant. At least I haven't put any blame on me, which I appreciate, but I still feel terrible. I have to hold on to my mistake as a businessman, not only helping the police collect them, but refunding people who bought them from me. I got a store like ours, but illicit goods up for sale. They were sold to us as being distributed by some well-known company running a campaign, and we just took them at face value. I know our owner can be impulsive to a fault, but I never thought it would lead to this sort of trouble. Yeah, I mean, there's like some blame, I guess, to be had.
Oh, I'm so in love with this brand.
But I guess it's like, well, that's kind of more of a failure of like regulation, that there isn't like a, you know, they're not like, oh, our products are regulated by the blah, blah, blah. And so that would be a case of like fraud if they're lying about them being certified and they're not. As opposed to just, hey, this shit's legit, believe me. The hell? Why did all the hookahs go? Or where did all the hookahs go? And why are so many cops in front of the store? Oh no, don't tell me they were laced with something illegal. Am I gonna get arrested for smoking them? Well, it depends. Is Calvert's drug policy based on France or America? Cause, you know, I got bad news for you if it's like the car culture. No, I don't want to rot in jail. They gotta understand, I have tall, talking, dancing actors to meet. There's no tall, dark, and handsome actors in this universe. I overheard some of the shopkeepers talking earlier. Apparently those herbal hookahs aren't allowed or something. You don't think they put any dangerous substances or anything in them, do you? Am I gonna die? I might have taken a few puffs, so I'm kind of worried. Yeah, a few puffs, alright. Yeah, okay, miss, I didn't inhale. The police came by earlier and took a handful of our products away. They couldn't possibly be related to the recent discord that's taken place around the city, could they? I'll have to talk to the owner of the store. We need to be able to sell our gear as we have, no matter what. Wait, do you sell swords and guns?
What can I do for you? See you again.
Yes, word's gotten out those horrible hookahs were utilizing illegal ingredients. That's insane to even think about. I have taken apart the heating element, but I can't say I'm well versed in the leaves themselves, so they had me fooled.
Hey, welcome.
We want another. I mean, Impede is decent to have. It's kind of like a filler quartz. We got another one of those. Umbral cracker. Umbral cracker. It's a cracker of the umbral variety. Wall cringe. What am I looking for? Oh yeah, custom. What's our... How many Sapiths do we have? Can I see it? There we go. Okay, we've got no wins, so we can't really open any slots. Yeah, because you all have just... they're all generics, or not generic, but like, you know, colorless slots. They're not like any specialized ones left.
Thanks, pal.
Right.
Okay, we'll talk to everyone outside of the hotel and Vegas films, and then we'll finish them up next time. Hey, look who the cat dragged in. Seems we owe you one once again for the information you supplied us with in this case. Won't ask how you even came about the information. And, we battled the Crown Prince of a sovereign nation. Yeah, okay, whatever. Right now we need to determine the provenance of those orbital hookahs. Everything gonna be okay with them? It sounds like they spread like wildfire across the city. We're managing. We, the local police, the guild are all working together to confiscate them from every business in possession of one. My official excuse to avoid a commotion is that they contain unauthorized ingredients. Some customers may be skeptical. It's backbreaking work getting it all done. If the CID wasn't helping behind the scenes, I don't know how we'd manage this ourselves. I guess with the folks who've already smoked, we'll be telling them a little more and following up with them later. I had to hear things with Renee and his people were going well, at least. Feel a little uneasy about not doing more with those smokers, but I imagine you're pressed for time and resources here. Indeed, I suppose we should consider ourselves lucky the devices in question have not managed to proliferate outside of Tharbad. Right, with all the Central Eastern VIPs here, could have turned into an international incident if we'd been slower. Believe me, as police, wish there was more we could do. We're playing the hand we've been dealt as best we can. I got the emergency call. It's pretty irritated, but knowing the drug contamination is involved, I understand the urgency now. Slipping substances into unsuspecting people's hookahs is no laughing matter. We're talking about public safety at this point. I think my girlfriend and I were gonna smoke some of that shit too. Talk about dodging a bullet. Man, he might have posed right on the spot and just started slamming away. The CID has already been determined about how to go about controlling the information on this case, as well as general disclosure to the public. Or gradual disclosure. That means our only job as police is to gather the hookahs and round up the perpetrators. I'm not exactly keen on being a pawn for the CID, but if nothing else, it at least allows us to focus on what we do best. Standing around, waiting for people to come talk to me.
Don't be shy. Take a look.
Yeah, have some ice cream. 100% guaranteed not to make you want to kill people.
What'll it be for today?
Probably. Unless they try and stop you from eating your ice cream, because it's so, you know,
Thanks
delicious. So lip-smacking good. Saw a bunch of policemen going around taking away orbital hookahs. Wonder if some kind of defect was found in them. Hygiene regulations are pretty strict these days. Those orbital hookahs burst onto the scene so suddenly, it honestly wouldn't shock me if they had some sort of problem. Yeah, I'm still strumming it, straight up. Hey, any idea what the cops are going around confiscating? Is it those orbital hookahs? I don't know if they could have brought that on, but it sure to rain on some people's parade. Not me. I'm under an awning. Not to worry, I can make up for that by as much singing and grub as they need, whatever makes them feel better.
Right.
Right. You guys okay? You've been standing here for like 8 hours. Are the orbital hookahs contaminated or something? I saw the police going around confiscating them earlier. Not that I care, I'm perfectly fine myself and was planning on taking in the film festivals to change of pace anyway. Such a shame the way the world is going. You never know where danger might be lurking these days. Are those orbital hookahs actually dangerous? The police seem to be carrying them out of stalls. Mom smoked a little bit out of one earlier. Hope she's gonna be okay. Things relaxed though, so I'm probably just being paranoid, right? Alrighty, so we'll call it here. Next time we will, I guess, can we go to the cultural district? Okay, it's just, so we'll finish up our talking, head over to Vegas Films. I don't know, maybe have a Vegas Films dungeon. For some reason there's gonna be monsters roaming around in the company. Who knows? I'm Extra Cheesy 87. Stay tuned for the next part. And bye guys.